is going to be really intense. I am going to go over a lot of heavy concepts. This is not for children. This isn't even for teenagers. So please just be sort of aware of when and how you're listening to this content. And massive trigger warning about especially SA, you know, a certain type of abuse, and I just don't want to mention. I'm going to be try and be really wise with my words, just because of YouTube and censorship. We're talking about so many things today. The main thing I want to talk about is why there are a large amount of starseeds or old souls, however you want to label them, who are blocked right now. Why do you feel blocked? Why can't you evolve spiritually? Why can't you evolve even physically or materially? There is a reason why there's a lot of starseeds that are blocked at this time, and it comes down to a very deep soul trauma that we're going to talk about, and that really gets wrapped into self-worth issues, that gets wrapped into sexuality, that gets wrapped into just trauma in general, childhood, a bunch of different things. And what I really want to talk about today is something called like the soul trap, or the karmic loop. So a lot of other sort of remote viewers or channelers or psychics have called it sort of the prison planet, right? Like planet Earth is a prison planet. I don't believe that that is the case. However, there is something to be said about why souls get stuck here, why souls get trapped here, and not only the implication of souls getting stuck and trapped on planet Earth, why it happens, how it happens, but then the implications of what do those souls do now, now that you're stuck here. My intention for this video is to actually get you unstuck. We're going to go over the symptoms of what you may be experiencing as one of these individuals. And then, of course, we're going to go into how to unblock yourself, how to unlock that sort of part of the soul trauma. I feel called to talk about this right now, partially because of the Epstein files and everything that's getting released, and partially because this came up in a coaching call on the weekend, and it really deeply moved me. And it just feels like there's a lot of suffering happening, and a lot of people don't know why they're suffering so much. And this is going to explain some of it. I can't say that this is like the absolute ultimate thing that certain people are going through, but I will say I'm talking thousands of past life regressions that I've given, that I've observed, that I've seen, that I've explored. This is the number one soul trauma, okay, that affects and is currently affecting old souls and starseeds, okay? We have to talk about it in order to release it and heal it. And that's what I'm here to do. It is not an easy topic to talk about, but with the Epstein files and the release of a ton of information, it is so clear that this system of trafficking and adrenochrome and, reptilian rituals and, unfortunately, really disturbing things like cannibalism, okay? It's coming to an end. It's coming to an end, but some of us are still stuck in the trauma that has occurred from past lifetimes and potentially from this life. So let's get into it. Like I said, this is not a video for children. Please, please, please be aware of sort of when and how you're listening to this. Oh man, this is going to be just packed full of information. I do have other videos on my website and on my website only talking about the prison planet, talking about reptilians, talking about blood and rituals. So if you're interested in this, I have at least 5 to 10 videos purely dedicated to really deepening your understanding of this topic. Remember that everything I know about this is what I have received through remote viewing, okay? This is a firsthand experience that I have with this stuff, which is quite disturbing. And I have received validation from, unfortunately, victims in this lifetime saying, I don't know how you know this, but you are spot on about everything they do and how they do it. And it's because I've seen behind the scenes on Illuminati contracts, ritual abuse tactics. It's almost inconceivable what they're actually doing. Sure, yeah, they did that back in the 1500s, but they're still doing that stuff today. And there are different reasons for it, and I'm not going to get into all of those reasons today, but we have to clear the trauma, we have to heal you in order to up-level you. And this is one of those videos. That's why we got to go heavy today. All right, before I deep dive into all of that, just a couple of announcements. The Galactic Federation Summit is coming up on February 11th. That's just right around the corner. And this one is all about romance. It's about twin flames. It's about exes. It's about love. It's about relationships. It's about karma in relationships. So if you are single, if you are looking to mingle, if you are in a deeply committed relationship, and you've got questions, then please check out the upcoming Galactic Federation Summit. And just a quick note, we have officially launched, and I have not mentioned it, a Galactic Federation Summit membership. So if you want to sign up, you get a huge discount. I think we've got like a 6-month membership, a 12-month membership. Essentially, you don't really have to think about it, and every single month you're going to be receiving the recording of each Galactic Federation Summit. So be aware of that. Coming up in February as well, I've got the Conscious Life Expo. I will be doing a really incredible workshop. This is so next level. This workshop is truly quantum. Like, I'm talking like we're going so deep into quantum mechanics and the possibilities of the universe. I'm gonna have your head and your soul spinning, but in all of the good ways. So yeah, please go check out the Conscious Life Expo. Tickets are limited. You have to buy an extra ticket for my workshop, but it is gonna be well worth it. And then we're gonna send everyone who gets a ticket, buys a ticket to the workshop, we're gonna send you the recording so you don't have to worry about remembering all of the quantumness that we're gonna be diving into. And then really fun, coming up this month, I've got so many extra membership videos coming out on my website. I am gonna be remote viewing Oprah Winfrey, and it's fascinating. Mom, I suggest you skip that video because you love Oprah Winfrey and you may not love it, but yeah, I have a Oprah Winfrey remote viewing video. I'm also going to be interviewing Timothy, who is a half gray, half human hybrid, works for the Galactic Federation. See, check into his thoughts on 2026 and beyond. But just a reminder, guys, that on my membership site, I have 4 brand new videos dropped every single month on top of 2 coaching calls live on Zoom and 1 Q&A live on Zoom. So if you want more content on top of thousands of videos that are all stashed away in my website, please go check it out. It is literally like a Netflix of EA. So if you're not getting enough on YouTube, it's infinite. You could just really go down the rabbit hole. All right, those are all my announcements. Thank you guys for paying attention to that. Okay, couple of things I want to get into right away. 1, timelines are shifting, okay? The old Earth is collapsing, the old systems are collapsing, then the 1% versus the 99%, it's shifting and changing. So we need to realize that. Number 2 is that the new Earth, okay, that new system is anchoring in. But the problem is that when we're trying to shift our energies vibrationally, we're still getting stuck in the old Earth. We're still getting stuck in fight or flight. We're still getting stuck in the fear, and we're unable to move forward. And we don't fully know all the time why we're getting stuck, why we're getting blocked. And like I said, this video might be the solution. It might be the reason why you're getting stuck and blocked. We'll go over the symptoms shortly, okay? All right, so let me just sort of talk about this soul trap and this like prison planet idea. So there's a lot, and I was hearing this stuff, a long time ago. Like we're talking like 2010, 2012. I was hearing this concept of a prison planet. Planet Earth is a prison planet, and there's a station in the moon, and they recycle the souls, and the second that you incarnate here, you're trapped here, and then you go into the light, and the light is a trap, and then you get reincarnated because you're stuck in the light, and then you come back here, and it's just this whole sort of entrapment system. And I'm like, yes and no, right? Like there was something about that that resonated with me, but then the rest of it did not resonate with me. It's very similar to how I felt about the concept of NPCs or non-player characters. I'm like, yes and no, you know? So when I hear something like this and it doesn't fully resonate, of course, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna tap into it. So a long time ago, 10 plus years ago, I tap into the concept of a prison planet. All right, well, tell me. I mean, is planet Earth a prison planet? I was doing a lot of mediumship, a lot of clearing souls. I was bringing them into the light. I'm like, oh my God, I need to know, you know, if this is not the right method. And so it was really important for me. And here's what I discovered, okay? As always, take it or leave it, okay? But it's really important that you listen up. To a certain extent, planet Earth is a bit of a trap, and it's a bit of a, I don't want to say a prison. It's a bit of a trap, okay? But the laws of free will and the laws of non-intervention still exist here. So how are they being the Illuminati, the shadow government, the one world order, or the reptilians, whatever you want to call them? I think they're just all a bunch of reptilians. I know it's crazy, lizard people, but hear me out here. Okay, so they understand the law of non-intervention and they understand the law of free will. And they essentially have created a loophole to keep us stuck on planet Earth so that it's not necessarily an external system that keeps us trapped here. It is more of a karmic loop system. It's almost like they manipulate karma to keep our souls stuck reincarnating here, okay? And this is how. I'm about to tell you how. Like I said, take it or leave it. I'm not here to convince you. This is just my findings, okay? And for me, it was like the missing piece. It was like the full picture. Okay, how do I put this? Through certain ritual abuse, they damage the soul. So the way that I've heard it or observed it, it's called like breaking the soul. You can't ever break a soul. You can't ever sell a soul, as I've said before. You can sell your body for fame and riches and whatever, and then all of a sudden they sort of replace the soul in the body or what have you, right? The body snatching, possession, reptilian shape-shifting, things like that. Okay. And that's like, you're doing that. You're signing a waiver, you're signing a contract, and you're saying, yes, I will take more fame and more riches or whatever it is. And you can use me however you want, but this is what I want, right? So that's how they get away with the free will and the non-intervention, is those people have to agree to it. There has to be an agreement. Okay, so that's that. But that being said, how do I put this? It's like such a big concept. For centuries, they have been doing this for generations after generations after generations. They have been doing this literally since the dawning of humanity to control us and to keep us trapped and stuck here. They target specifically the Lightworkers, the Starseeds, the old souls. So they specifically target either pure bloodlines. Okay, we're talking pure bloodlines, especially from like the Pleiades. You know, there's certain sort of high vibrational, some of the angelic bloodlines. Nowadays, there aren't a whole lot of pure bloodlines left. So there's either sort of a purity within your genetics or there's a purity within your soul. They target the purity. The reason why they do so is because they are threatened by you and because they can actually consume more consume more of your essence, okay? Because that's what they do. They feed off of your energy, but they also feed off of your blood, and they also feed off of your body. Right, I know, gross and weird, but it's true and it's happening. All right, so they target these essentially high vibrational beings on planet Earth. They've done this since the dawning of humanity. The deeper reason behind targeting the high vibrational beings is because these beings they know are here to shift and change the vibration or stabilize a higher frequency. So they're also a threat. Not only can they feed off of these people, but those people, those individuals, us essentially, okay, are a threat to humanity. And so it's not just about torturing and putting you through, like, I don't even, like, it's hard for me to even talk about it because I've seen some really, really disturbing things in, like, remote viewing. Like, we're talking, like, underground layers. We're talking underneath some of the royal family castles. Like, this stuff has gone on, and it's still going on, and it's deeply disturbing. And I'm not going to talk about details. But what happens, okay, is it's not just a one and done. It's not just a one-off torture session and then the person dies and then they get reincarnated. No, that's not the point of it. The point of it is reoccurring ritual abuse to damage the soul so deeply. Okay, this is where the reincarnation loop, the prison planet concept comes in. They damage the soul so deeply that that soul has no other choice but to come back and reincarnate on this planet so that the frequency of the trauma can only be matched here. It's kind of hard to describe, right? So, like, say for example, if you stole something from someone in this lifetime, you could reincarnate on a different planet, in a different dimension, in a different place, in a different body, and have someone, an extraterrestrial, steal something from you. I know it sounds kind of petty, but I'm just giving you a simple example. What the reptilians do is they create such a brokenness in your soul that your soul is now tied to planet Earth. And what I've seen for myself in observing my own lifetimes, and then what I've seen for others as well in this predicament and situation is, it is this feeling, okay, when your soul is broken, it is the feeling like there is no more hope. Like it's total entrapment, but it feels like all your light is gone to the point where you don't have hope anymore. And I know that that sounds very simple, but it's not. It is this feeling like you cannot escape your situation, that you do not have any power at all, and that you are completely hopeless. And when you remove any and all hope, any faith in the universe or yourself or the higher realms, when you're at that point, you're broken. And then you reincarnate to either re-experience that trauma, or you reincarnate with that, essentially that brokenness. There's like something in you. And we can sort of equate it to like self-worth. Like you've lost all sense of self, all hope in your own magic, in your own capability to create. Not to mention, you've lost faith in the universe itself. Because it's like, well, why didn't you have my back, right? Or like God, you know? It's like, if that's how you want to label it, it's like, well, why wouldn't God step in? Why would God create so much suffering? And if you're going to take responsibility for that lifetime, then why would I create that much suffering? And I have to tell you, and I know this is hard to hear, but I'm going to say it because this is just what I've observed, okay? We sign up for contracts like that, especially as old souls, especially as these sort of galactic volunteers, okay? Because so many of us came to this planet with the understanding that we're here to change the system, but with the understanding that we have to experience the darkest parts of the system in order to know how to change it. So it's like, you got to be in the system in order to shift it and change it. But once you're in the system, you got to crawl your way out of it in order to be from a place of objective observation where it's like, I get it. I've been to the dark realms. I get it. I've been to the light. But now here I am in the middle. And once you're in that middle place, then you're like, okay, let me impart my wisdom because I've been there. I see you. I get you. I feel that darkness. But I'm also not scared of it anymore because I've been there, done that. And there's nothing that could happen that is worse than that. The problem that I'm observing, okay, is that there's a lot of starseeds that have been so deeply traumatized by these lifetimes and these rituals and these torture sessions that go on and on and on, that now they feel like they're different. They feel like they're here for a reason, but they're blocked and they don't know why they're blocked and they just can't get there. And they have zero self-worth, so that they give and they give and they give, and that feels kind of good, but that's not fulfilling. And also that's not sustainable. You can't just keep giving, right? I want you to get yourself out of that hole. And we're going to talk about some of the symptoms and then what you can do about it. But this is the prison planet system. It is a deep karmic manipulation is what it is. Okay, and you deserve more than being stuck. And I want to mention, I just want to talk about being stuck for a second. So in the last 5 years, since 2020, all of these individuals who have had serious traumas in past lifetimes, purging, so much release, whether it's kidney stones or acne or psoriasis or weird skin conditions or digestive issues or hair loss or dietary issues or weight gain or whatever it is, or weird sweating matches or just constantly sick, okay? You're going through it because you're purging out all of that shit. You are. And if we take a look at the Epstein files and what's happening, the world is purging out that shit. Okay? We need to at this time. All right? I feel like there was something else I wanted to mention, but what was it? Yes. So your spiritual abilities, right? So it's like, this is one of the biggest symptoms. Let's just go into the symptoms, okay? One of the biggest symptoms is your spiritual abilities getting blocked. It's like, I know I'm psychic, I know I have spirit guides, I understand all these things, but I can't experience them. The number one reason that I've observed and seen and received from clients and people and whatever, remote viewing, is that you are purposefully blocking your spiritual gifts because of fear of, I don't want to be seen. Because if I am seen, if people know what I can do and who I am, my life is threatened. That's what it comes down to. It could be one lifetime of ritual abuse or many lifetimes of ritual abuse, but no matter what, all it takes is one time for your soul to be like, nope, no thank you, not again, not in this lifetime, so I'm going to suppress exactly who I am for safety. That's what it is. It's a defense mechanism. It's a safety mechanism. I am so much more safe being a human. I'm just going to be an accountant. Yep. But I'm going to be so deeply unfulfilled and unsatisfied pretending to be this human because I've lost a part of my true self. I see it. I see it. I've lived it. I've experienced it. I think I was able to surpass it at a very young age, which I'm grateful for, right? But I get it. I get this deep, deep soul fear of I cannot be seen, I cannot be heard, and I cannot step into my true self. Because if I do, my life is going to be threatened. Like, that's it. Like this is a life or death fear that you're feeling. that is propelling you into survival mindset, that is propelling you into staying small, keeping yourself small. And you don't deserve that. And this is why we're talking about it. And this is why you're watching this video right now. Because you're ready. Something brought you here in this moment. You're ready to release that. You're ready to unblock that. You're ready to be the true version of yourself. And I'm telling you right now that the trafficking system, the Epstein files, and the absolute horrific crimes against humanity that have happened since the dawning of humanity are finally being purged out on the planet. Which means, my friends, that you are safe. You are safe to ascend. You are safe to step in. You are safe to experience the true version of yourself for the first time, maybe in many lifetimes. You are. I'm doing it. I am living, walking, breathing proof of getting on my soapbox and saying all the things that I would have been, for saying. I'm doing it. And you can do it too. And if anything, you deserve to do it. Because when you block your true essence and your true capabilities, you're blocking your abundance. You're blocking your flow. You're keeping yourself small in every single aspect of your life, in all your relationships, your dynamics, your career, your mission, your bank account, everything is going to be affected by this. I do not deserve to be seen or heard, and if I am, my life is being threatened. That is the soul trap that will keep you coming back. This is the lifetime to unlock that and to understand that you deserve. All right, here are some of the symptoms. SA, okay, or a certain type of abuse in childhood, okay? That's a very, very common symptom of individuals. Typically, some of our biggest, deepest soul traumas from past lifetimes get sort of re-brought up in childhood so that we make it our mission, hopefully, if you're self-aware enough, to heal that in this lifetime. So it could have been a very small moment. It could have been a very big moment in childhood. But abuse itself is a good indication that that is linking you to something even bigger and essentially worse from past lifetimes coming up in this lifetime. It puts you on this trajectory of self-love, self-worth, and healing that, okay? Other symptoms. You are a light to the world and to your family. You are a light, therefore you've been targeted in the past. Like I said, it's not all synonymous, and this isn't gonna, align to everyone who's here, but this is the number one soul trauma I've experienced that I've observed. So scared to speak up. You've got a lot of throat chakra issues. Maybe it's teeth issues. Maybe it's neck issues. Maybe it's shoulder issues. Maybe it's thyroid issues, okay? Anything in this area right here, throat chakra stuff. Maybe it's a stutter. Maybe you talk really quietly. Maybe you shut down in the face of emotion or what have you. Maybe you just can't ask for what you want, all right? But when you're scared to speak up, it's a pretty good indication that there's a deep-rooted fear there of I'm not safe in speaking up. Also, this is interesting, and I have multiple videos on my website about this if you want to deep dive into it. Not safe for the workplace, not safe for YouTube. But weird sexual attractions or aversions, all right? We're talking some weird sexual kinks, all right? If you've got some of that going on, or just oh my God, just aversions, like things that you can't even think about, it's a pretty good indication that you may have suffered from some of this ritual stuff in past lifetimes. And then also, and I've also talked about this too in other videos, difficult time orgasming. It kind of blows my mind, especially for women, that there's 30 to 40% of women who have either never experienced an orgasm or have a really hard time doing that. I've talked about this before. This video isn't really about that, but I have to say, orgasm is our connection to source frequency. What do we need to do in order to do that, in order to get there? We need to let go of everything else in this reality and just be in this free flow state. It requires a lot of trust, a lot of safety, and a lot of letting go. And if we have that kind of past life and trauma, of course you're not going to feel safe in letting go and connecting. And this is the other reason why reptilians love to mess with our ability to have sex, or our purity around sex and sexuality. They want to mess with that in order to mess with our orgasm, in order to mess with our pure connection to source frequency. I know it sounds crazy, but like, I'm so sure of that. I'm more sure of that than anything else. This is why the whole trafficking situation, it's just all wrapped up. There's many reasons. That's one of them. I have videos, if you actually just go to my website and type in sex or even porn, okay, I have videos that talk about this. You can also type in reptilian and you'll get all of the ritual, gross trafficking stuff, okay? Self-worth issues. And then also a couple of other symptoms. An innate knowing of dark stuff, like the dark stuff is real and happening. It's sort of this feeling and this knowing, like especially with the Epstein files, like that stuff is triggering for you. It's triggering for you because you have experienced it in past lifetimes. It's like, you know that stuff is real. You can't prove it. You haven't been a part of it in this lifetime, but you know it exists. That's a pretty good symptom. And then also wanting to help innocent children and trafficking victims. Once again, it's part of your soul that wants to come back around and free others that were in your situation or predicament. Okay, so how do we heal this? How do we heal this? A couple of things. So knowing what's happening is half the battle. It truly is. So just know that this is a thing, that this is the karmic soul trap, that you may have a connection to this in a past lifetime. I want to let you know that you do not need to specify or target or pin down the past lifetime in particular in order to heal that lifetime. You don't, okay? Most of it comes through in childhood, so do the childhood healing, do the inner child work, do the dark night of the soul stuff, do the ego death and rebirth, do all of that stuff, and it should pretty much take care of it, okay? If you have done all of that stuff and it's not taking care of it, and this video deeply resonates with you, then I might suggest go out, find a past life regressionist. You could also kind of self-guide yourself as well. It's easier with a regressionist. Set that intention to purge out and release any of that old energy. And do it that way, okay? But you don't need to know specific details in order to release it. Just know that. So then you also need to update yourself to safety. This is so important. This is like pretty much the #1 rule of thumb. Every time you feel unsafe, you need to remind yourself that you are safe. Oh my goodness, I can't do this live video, or I can't do this video showing off my crystal jewelry, or oh, I really want to put myself out there with Reiki and I just feel like no one's going to really get me. Do it. If you feel scared in speaking up and asking for what you want, especially, just go ahead and do it with the reminder that you are safe doing it. And I'm going to tell you right now that the old world system is falling, that you will not be targeted, that they do not have enough resources to target all of us, and that you are safe stepping in and putting yourself out there and asking for what you want. Okay, and then what else? Oh yes, I do want to say too, perpetrators are being tried for their crimes. All right, so currently and moving into the future, the individuals who have been responsible for this like karmic loop trap of planet Earth, they are being tried for their crimes. And yeah, essentially there are other organizations that are dealing with them currently and that will continue to deal with them moving forward. It all will be exposed in due time. All right, guys? So once again, just a reminder, coming up, we've got the Galactic Federation Summit. We're going to talk about romance and love and exes and twin flames and karmic relationships and all that great stuff. Come see me in Los Angeles coming up on February 20th for the Conscious Life Expo. I will be selling my book there and signing books there. And then we've got Oprah Winfrey remote viewing, we've got Timothy, and so many other great videos that are all being released this month on my membership only, so go check that out. And right now I'm gonna end this video. I'm hopping over to Instagram. It'll be elizabeth.april, and I'm starting a kind of like an open talk live Q&A where I get to read all your comments and chill with you for a little bit and just kind of hang out. So if you want to just hang out with me after this, I'm doing a post live. So come on over to Instagram, and I'll actually be reading comments and responding and just hanging out for a little bit. All right, guys, I love you so much. Keep up the good work. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, share with someone who may need to hear this. And I hope that this helped in one way or another, because you deserve to be free. You deserve to receive. You definitely deserve to be seen. And you've got really good things coming your way. Okay? Remind yourself that you're safe and you got this. All right. Bye for now.